guys, and welcome back to another book tasting. Today, we'll be tasting Krystal Ball Dream Birthday. This is a series that's all about Krystal Ball and her fortune-telling talents. She is a spunky fourth grader who lives in Queens with her parents, has crazy curly black hair, and loves to accessorize with scarves, bracelets, and earrings. Now, her dad is a super smart history teacher who just loves passing on his knowledge of history and mythology to Krystal. Krystal's mom is a hairstylist who works in the shops below her apartments. And her grandmother? Well, she is just a train ride away into Manhattan and is a fortune teller, just like Krystal. You're also going to meet Billy and Claire, who are Krystal's best friends, and Krystal would do anything for them. Now, before I go any farther in tasting this book, let's go ahead and head over to capstonekids.com and meet Krystal.
Hi, I'm Krystal Ball. As a fourth grade fortune teller, I can always predict the future. Unfortunately, I'm not always 100% accurate. Come closer and see for yourself. Once, I dreamed I was a legendary pirate, sailing across dangerous waters. I guess the water part was correct. Another time, I imagined myself twisting and twirling inside an angry tornado. The angry part certainly came true. And, of course, there was the time I just knew I'd meet some strange creatures on Mars. Well, half of that prediction came true, at least. So you see, I'm not always perfect, but I wouldn't give up this gift for anything in the world, because being a small medium is such a ball.
Welcome back, guys. I hope you guys learned a little bit more about Krystal Ball and her fortune-telling talents. So let's go into the book and taste a little bit of chapter 3 when she has one of these crazy dreams that turns into a nightmare, but she's foreseeing her future. Chapter 3 is called Spacing Out. That night, I had the weirdest dream. I wore a fabulous, glittering silver spacesuit and climbed into a silver rocket ship. That's not the weird part. 3, 2, 1, blast off, said a computer voice. The shuttle streaked through the atmosphere and a red planet came into view. That must be Mars, I thought. It's exactly how it looks in my book. Once the spaceship landed, I got off and walked around the rocky terrain. I could feel the tiny pebbles crunching under my sparkly boots. Suddenly, Martians appeared everywhere. I was surrounded. Is this what they look like, I wondered? There's a picture of her and the Martians that she's dreaming of. They were tall and thin with green skin and pointy spikes sticking out of their heads. Slowly, they shuffled toward me. Some were wearing chains on their wrists, others on their legs. This is not the way to go, the Martians chanted together. This is not the way to go. The aliens advanced. I tried to push past them, but I couldn't. They started to smother me. I couldn't breathe. Finally, I let out an ear-piercing scream. Aye! I sprang up in bed awake. The sun was out, and I was in the safety of my room. The Martians were gone. Mom and Dad appeared in the doorway. Krystal, honey, what happened? My mom asked. I took a deep breath to calm myself and said, I was on Mars, and there were these scary Martians all around me, and they were yelling and trying to grab me, and it's all right, sweetheart. It's over now, Mom said soothingly. She hugged me. The Martians can't get you. I love you, Mom, I whispered back. Thanks. My father came over and kissed me on the forehead. He said, Do you know where we're going today? I answered, Yes, we're going to Grandma's house. Of course. How could I forget? So we're going to stop right there because she is getting ready to go to Grandma's house. But I want to read pretty much near the end of this chapter just so you guys can get a glimpse of how this dream is going to start coming into play into her real life. Let's see. So they're getting ready to board the train to go to Grandma's house. As we walked up the stairs to the elevated platform, I began to feel that tingling sensation. It was very similar to the one from the day before. So when she gets these tingly sensations, you're going to find out that it's because she's getting ready to have some sort of a vision. Seconds later, the train arrived. As it passed us slowly grinding to a halt, I had a revelation, kind of like her vision. The glinting steel of the train cars and the flickering lights reminded me of the rocket ship from my dream. The sliding doors opened, and I hesitated. "What's the matter, dear?" my mother asked. Nothing, Mom," I said. "I think we're about to discover what my dream was all about. So ask again later." And with that, we climbed aboard. So there we go. She's on her way to Grandma's house, and she is getting ready to find out what her crazy Mars dream is all about. All right, let's go ahead and read about Krystal Ball's style. "What dazzling duds shall I wear?" I asked Stanley. Stanley is her silent, stuffy friend. Then it came to me. Let's start at the top and work our way down. I pulled out a box full of scarves. When I turned it upside down, a rainbow of colorful patterned fabrics swirled around my feet and fell to the floor. "Aha! This bright pink one with gold fringe will do," I said. I smoothed down my unruly curls and wrapped the scarf around them. "Why don't we tie the ends at the top so we get a nice fancy bow?" The Stegosaurus, which is her stuffy, silently agreed. I skipped over to the dresser and pulled open the drawer with my favorite shirts. On the top of the pile was a purple t-shirt. In its center was a gold star studded with plastic beads. Lifting it out of the drawer, I exclaimed, "A star for a star." I put it on and decided to wear a long purple skirt that matched my shirt. But then I glanced at myself in the mirror. Too much purple? I want to look great, not grape. I scratched my head until a brilliant idea popped in. Once it did, I ran over to my scarves and picked a bright yellow one with white stripes. I tied it around my waist and let the ends dangle on one side. I'd created a sensational sash. Much better. "And now for the finishing touches," I said. I opened my jewelry box. It was a present for Grandma on my last birthday. Inside was a little dancing ballerina. It twirled to the sweet, tinkling sounds of music. I picked out some costume jewelry that was also a gift from Grandma. A pair of gold hoop earrings and a chunky gold bracelet. "Voila!" I announced. "I am a fashionable fortune teller." I did a full turn in the mirror and headed out. Mom and Dad were waiting in the living room when I made my grand entrance. There she is, in her fashionable fortune teller outfit. All right, let's bring some perspective on the title, Dream Birthday, because so far, all we've been talking about and tasting about is Krystal and her fortune-telling talents. So let's go ahead and taste some bits and pieces of the book where it starts to talk about the birthday party and just how important it is to Krystal. "My birthday is next week, you know," I told Billy. "Ah, yes. And last week your birthday was in 2 weeks. You made sure not to let me forget. And then I got your party invitation in the mail a few days later. You know, you could have just handed it to me in person." What a smart aleck. "If you want to throw a proper party," I said, "you need to send out handmade invitations by mail. Then you need to decorate and plan lots of fun games with prizes." He smiled until his cheeks scrunched his eyes. "What about food? There better be food." "You're driving me crazy," I said. "Do you know how big this is? I'm going to be 10. Billy replied, You're going to be an old lady." He laughed and pushed the door open. All right, let's skip over to a section where Krystal and her mom are on their way to school, and they start talking about the party. "Well, I know what's happening this Sunday," said Krystal's mom. "It's my birthday," I squealed, and I jumped up and down. "Happy birthday to me, happy birthday to me," I sang. "You know, Mom, I'm going to be a double digit. How grown up is that?" "It sure is," replied my mother. "Remember, we're getting the decorations after school today. One of your first grown-up responsibilities is to help me set up." "I can't wait. The apartment will look so fabulous," I exclaimed. As we arrived at the schoolyard, Mom kissed me on the forehead and said goodbye. I ran up the steps into the building, and waiting there was my other best friend, Claire. All right, let's skip over. Finally, the school day ended. Claire and I skipped out of the classroom. "I'm so excited about your birthday party," Claire squealed, and she looked over to see Billy and the other boys from her class horsing around in the front lawn. Has Billy responded yet? Is he going to be there? "He better be there," I said. "We live together." Oh, yeah. All right, let's jump over to the last section. It is when they arrive at the party supply store, which is right near their school. Inside, each aisle was decorated with a specific theme. My favorite was always the carnival and circus aisle. "Mom, look!" I cried, pointing to a row of feathered masks. "These are amazing." I tried one on while Mom filled her basket with streamers and garlands. A woman with an overstuffed shopping cart pushed past in a hurry. She had an oversized hairdo piled high atop her head and an oversized bag hanging from her shoulder. "Excuse me," she said, rushing to the register. "Excuse you," I thought. I dove out of her way, but was grazed by the shoulder rag. I managed to glean a vision from it. I closed my eyes and tilted my head. The vision came into focus. Then I walked over to the teenage stock boy straightening the shelves. "Hey, mister," I said, tugging on his apron. "You may want to clean up the mess in the next aisle." The stock boy walked over to where I was pointing. He looked down the aisle. All he saw was the rude woman with the overstuffed cart. She was barreling past a tall pyramid display of cone-shaped party hats. The teenager looked confused. "I don't see any," he began. Before he could finish his sentence, the woman's bag sideswiped the pyramid display. It teetered back and forth for a few minutes. Then it toppled over. Whoosh! The woman yelped as she was covered in an avalanche of paper hats. The stock boy ran over as fast as he could. "My hair!" she shrieked. The pointy ends of some party hats were stuck inside her beehive. "My art!" the teenager yelled. "Now I have to create the display all over again." I covered my mouth to stop laughing out loud and went to help Mom finish shopping. So Krystal had a vision when that lady's bag touched her, and that, all those party hats making a mess, was Krystal's vision coming true. Pretty cool. Now, further on in the book, it does talk about her birthday party, but something bad happens before her birthday party can start. And she actually has one of those dreams again that tells her not exactly what's going to happen to her birthday party, but you know how dreams go. They get a little weird, and she just has to figure it out. That's all I have for this week, and I encourage you guys to come to the library and check out Krystal Ball, Dream Birthday. Happy reading, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.